Hey everybody, Orange Podcast Bad episode 42. We'll see if we can get Paul in here to join us. He hasn't been able to make it yet. That's okay. Totally okay. I did have some comments about alligator Alcatraz or Gator Trez, they're calling it now. Let's see if Paul can join us. Gator Trez. And I see the our libertarian friends seem to be unhappy with Gator Trez or Gator Alligator Alcatraz or whatever you call it. And I find that a little strange because their argument is we'll just deport them directly from where they're from. And I say, okay, well, how would you do that? How do you deport somebody directly from Middle Tennessee or Chicago or without having a state processing facility so that they can get their due process, right? I'm talking about alligator Alcatraz, Paul, and that I want every state to have one. I believe Indiana's going to open one up at Camp Atterbury. But I've seen libertarians say, hey, no, just deport them directly. Like, so what? Do you want to just put them on a Learjet? How much does that cost? When we could process them, this alligator Alcatraz has a international length runway. We could put 350 on a plane at one time. Gone. I don't get where this libertarian stance is that we're wasting money on these processing
Yeah,
centers.
because we're not wasting money.
No, well, I agree with you. We're not. I don't get where they say they. And I'm trying to follow them. One of our, it's a friend of ours, Nick. Has posted just deport them directly from where they're at, and I'm like, okay, I'm listening. How? Like you detain them, then you arrest them, and then what? Like, how do
Yeah,
you
so
deport them?
so you're in St. Louis
Right?
and 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 you get arrested and it's determined that you're in the country illegally. They're going to send you to Alligator Alley.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to send you on a bus. You're not going to dude, you're not going to get some uh, chartered aircraft to take you down to there. No, that's not how it works.
Well, so the other thing.
It's LPTA, Sean. It's lowest price technically acceptable. So
Oh,
we've
agree.
got to go from point A to point B. What's the cheapest way we can do it? Well, it's Billy Bob's charter bus service. That's what we do. If we're not doing high school football games, we're going to take your folks down to Alligator Alcatraz.
And we got a 1977 Greyhound with 5 armed men that will make sure it happens. You're
Yeah,
totally right.
yeah,
You're totally right. That right. So that brings me to another thing that they were saying is, I heard. Well, they're saying, well, this is costing us too much money. This is libertarians. I get it. They're 1% of the vote, sometimes 2%. And I don't hate libertarians. I like the fact that they want limited government. This is not a dig on libertarians, but they're also saying just dump them back across the Mexican border. And I'm saying, wait a minute. I don't think, even though Mexico's not really friendly to us, if you just dump 20 million people into Mexico,
yeah,
mass chaos erupts.
yeah,
Mass chaos.
yeah. And their government does not know how to handle that, right? Whereas we are able through several different uh, government entities, we're able to absorb, place, support. You know what I mean? So the Mexican government is so corrupt, and it's just run by the cartels.
For
You know,
sure.
just plain speaking. And we send those people back to Mexico, even though they're from Guadalajara or Peru or something like that. Chances are you're going to see them on the local news hanging from a bridge.
Right. Listen, if you care about humans, which all these people say they claim they care about humans, that's exactly what's going to happen to them. They're better off being sent back to the country of origin. They have a better chance.
But they don't. But they
No?
don't, Sean. They talk that shit, but they don't mean it. You
Who
understand what I'm saying?
the
They're
libertarians I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. The libertarians are saying, "Oh, let's kumbaya," and that's not how it works, bro.
Mm.
And they keep saying that, and still all of this mass murder and fuck.
Well, so, all right, let me ask you this. If the libertarians had a chance in hell at winning an election ever, do you think Rand Paul and Thomas Massey would have run as a libertarian? But they chose to run as Republicans, knowing there is a totally unelectable party. So, if this was a real thing, wouldn't they run on the libertarian ticket?
Sure, they would if it was a real thing, but it's not.
All right, so now that well, I got you. We can get back into that, but I really I predicted no guilty whatsoever on Sean Combs. He's got two minor charges. They could be up to 20 years, but I predict he's going to get a bracelet on his ankle. And you and I've talked about this before. They charged him with the wrong charges. RICO is for the mob, for gangsters, for people like Biden. This wasn't RICO. It was a wrong charge. Like they
It
should have
was
charged him
not
something different.
Rico, and the state's attorney that brought this forward did not know what the hell they were talking about.
Oh, it's one of Comey's kids, I believe.
Dude, this guy was guilty of all kinds of stuff, and we were too stupid to bring it to fore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so, and that's been my standing point on social media is that the prosecution first charged him with the wrong shit. They could have charged him with all kinds of other crimes. Then they could have actually presented evidence, which they didn't. I'm surprised he actually got found guilty of anything.
Me too. 100%. Yeah.
I still think so. They held him. He's still detained. I still think he's gonna get a year with an ankle bracelet and community service. I don't think anything's really gonna happen to the guy. Like you were an LEO, you were an LT LEO. Am I wrong? Didn't the
You are not wrong,
prosecution
bro.
majorly fuck this up?
Yeah. They all fucked this up, and he's gonna walk. there's just no doubt in my mind that he's going to walk. And I'll tell you something else. This cocksucker, all eyes are going to be on him. You know what I mean? And it's only going to be a few months before he steps out of line again.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
100%. He can't help himself. He's he's mentally ill, Sean. He's got that, it's like the Mexican guy that likes 12-year-old girls. I'm not saying he's that guy, but I'm saying he's
Right.
got
It's
that
an
mental,
addiction.
yeah, he's got that mental disposition where if you don't do what I say, I'm going to slap you in your fucking mouth and bring you to heel.
So I'm just calling it out for the viewers. It's power, right? He's addicted to the power of being
Oh,
able
it's
to
all about power.
make people do
Yeah,
something.
yeah, look at him. He's not even good looking. He's just a punk ass.
Well, look at how Bieber, because he had held or he had something to do with Justin Bieber's rise to fame. And look at what a mess physically too, not just emotionally, but physically. Look at Justin Bieber. Like he weighs like 102 pounds right now.
Yeah,
He couldn't perform on a stage if he wanted to. He needs to eat a fucking steak.
yep,
So, and he was part of, like at 14 years old, Diddy had him over to the house. Diddy said he was going to give, I don't know what the car was, a Corvette, a Lambo, something like
yep.
that.
It was a Corvette. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'll give it to you when you turn 15 or 16 or whatever he said. Yeah, why are they having sleepovers? And I know a lot of people question, let's just go ahead and go into rock and roll. Like a lot of people question Michael Jackson and his relationship with children. And I got to be honest with you, I don't think Michael Jackson was doing anything of the sort that Diddy was doing. I think Michael Jackson just loved kids. He grew up super poor in Gary, Indiana, and he had the opportunity to, spread the wealth a little bit. I could be totally wrong, but I believe Michael Jackson was a
no,
totally
I don't
different
think you
person.
are. I really think he was a gentle kid that had a gentle upbringing, and I don't think when I think of Michael Jackson, I don't think of perversion. I don't think of any of that. I think he's a soft spoken, quiet guy that really liked children.
Hmm.
I mean, like genuinely like kids.
The most famous kid that we know of that has talked about Michael Jackson is Macaulay Culkin from the Home Alone
Oh,
Christmas
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, no, he would invite me over. We would have a blast. Nothing like that
But it
ever
wasn't a
happened.
pervert or it wasn't a,
Nothing like that ever happened." He
yeah,
goes, "Yeah, occasionally I'd sleep in his triple king size bed, but I was 8 feet away from him because the bed's so huge."
yeah.
Right? And I just hung out at his mansion. I hung out with him. I had fun. It was awesome.
And
As
I'm a
opposed,
kid and I like that stuff.
hmm
You know what I mean?
as opposed to Bieber going to Diddy's house when you see the interviews and or even the videos of it happening, you look at it and go, "This is different. This is way different than Michael Jackson."
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up. Oh, I'm gonna be upset, but I saw the Michael Jackson house in Gary, Indiana, was set for destruction, and I was really look, I know none of you wanna spend tax dollars on anything, I was really hoping the state of Indiana was going to save it and make it a historical place. And I don't know if they're gonna do that, and that disappoints me.
Oh, dude, are they going to tear it down?
Yeah, because it's abandoned at this point.
Oh no.
Yeah. Dude, it's got a beautiful mural on somebody
No,
graffiti
it's
muraled.
significant. Yeah.
It's historical. It belongs on a register, on the historical register nationally. And I wish the state of Indiana would spend $100 and just save the property. All they got to do is mow the lawn. They can let the property just sit as a historical landmark, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like. And Gary's made big changes. I saw some funny stuff. People posting about Gary today, being the moral capital of the world, but they're not anymore. Were they? Ah, yes, it was totally true. But what Gary's gone through is what a lot of steel belt cities have gone through, which
Sure.
is the demise of
Oh
the
yeah.
steel industry
Yeah.
once we gave it to China, Japan, you name
Yeah.
it. And like all the workers are like, just like the coal mining towns in West Virginia and Virginia.
And
That all of
Kentucky.
us,
Yeah.
yeah,
100%. Yep.
that's what happened to Gary. Now that now that everybody's basically vacated Gary, it's rebuilding, and it's a beautiful Lake Michigan town. Like, they're building it back up. It's beautiful now.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they're still working on it. They're still crushing old stuff that's abandoned to keep out homeless, immigrants or illegals. They're just crushing the houses so illegals can't live in them. And that's fine, but they're mowing the lawn of those properties. And
Yeah.
listen, if you go, like, from Gary all the way this way on Lake Michigan, other than the public beach, which is beautiful beach, and they got a big memorial, two-story tall building there. I went there 7 years ago for a funeral ceremony for one of my cousins.
Right.
And we rented out the whole upper story of the
Oh,
parks.
really?
Yeah, and had his, picture up. It was his favorite
Yeah.
beach. The
Yeah.
Gary Beach was his
Yeah.
favorite beach. But, like, once you get into where it's private and there's homes along the beach, oh my
Sure.
god, these things are like 6, 7,
Oh, yeah.
$8 million. They're
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. They've got marinas off of the lake because that lake is so heavy with weather. You can't have a dock out in front of your house. It's got to be
Oh,
upriver, right? So, yeah, no, Gary's made a huge turnaround. They have their own international airport now. They have for about 10 years. They're like, screw
wow.
you. If you want to go to Chicago and you don't want to waste your time going into Chicago, fly into Gary, catch a taxi or catch a train, right?
Mhm.
So I know everybody's like, Gary bad. Gary was very bad in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It's not that
It's just
anymore.
not like that anymore.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. I mean, every
Yeah.
city's got their own crime.
Sure.
Mm. So
What
yeah,
are you
I saw that on the
what are
internet.
you sipping on there, brother?
Oh, water, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, yeah, good times. Again, though, back to a lot of people on the Combs case are gonna say this is just like the Epstein case, where the government doesn't want to tell you. So I don't know about that conspiracy theory. I'm with where I thought, but well, any thoughts there? Is this part of a State Department op or Mossad or MI6 or with Combs, Puff Daddy, P Diddy?
I have, no opinion on that, and maybe sometime in the future that you and I can talk about it, but I I got no.
And that I think that's fair. I'm observing what the internet is saying, and that's out there. I like if you look at the Epstein case, I'm gonna go, yeah, probably so. If you look at the P Diddy case, I'm gonna go, maybe. But I think the Epstein case was far more prevalent with that type of stuff. And it's
Yeah,
again, this is just opinion. It's just two guys shooting the shit. We have no evidence to prove yes or no on this conspiracy that I keep seeing on the internet.
right.
So I have seen a bunch. Holy crap! I forgot to open the chat room. I've seen a bunch of people also saying they're gonna boycott Independence Day, which I think is hilarious. Because how is anybody gonna notice that they boycotted it?
Wait, what?
Yeah, liberal. Dude, usually 60 to 70-year-old white women, they're posting, I'm boycotting the 4th of July because I don't feel this country is patriotic anymore. And you see these
Really?
videos. Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there.
Oh,
Tons.
I'd love to have their addresses so I
Just
could
so you could
drive
drive
by there
by
and
on a
beat them to
horse.
fucking death.
Oh yeah, they don't feel patriotic anymore because Trump or something. Mostly it's Trump,
So
but
let me just say this. I would invite you to go to Turkey. I would invite you to go to Azerbaijan,
mhm.
and I would invite you to talk your liberal talking points in those countries and just see what happens.
Can I add South America, South Sudan, and North Korea? Go there and talk the way you talk now.
Dude, I can't believe you said South Sudan. Yeah,
Look, it's not
them
going to work out.
motherfuckers take a machete to you.
That's and I guess that's where I'm coming from. Like, so any of the countries named by either you or me,
Yeah,
you don't have the freedom of speech to say what you just said. I like it doesn't end well for you. And I'm not wanting personal harm on you. I'm just saying, hey, why don't you take a month sabbatical there, learn about their culture, because you're gonna find out, holy crap, they don't put up with any of the things that you think.
right, exactly right. Yeah,
Go spend a month in Iran.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you might be able to report
Go
back.
go spend a month in Darfur in one of the refugee camps. I dare you. I
Yeah,
motherfucking dare you.
and live stream the whole thing.
Yeah,
And that's what I just don't think they will ever understand when they call for. Obviously, they want the death of America. I don't know why they think that is because they live here in America, but they think that there's some better form of government. Is our
yeah.
government perfect? No. No. Is our government the best government that has ever been created by humans? Yes. And you're going to have to figure that out. And I'm asking all you crazy liberals, go sabbatical in one of these countries that you claim or that you carry the flag for when you protest. I like go do it. Like if you really want
Yeah.
to understand the culture, go to Iran. Go to Iran. Now, will you be like? Let's be honest. Iran's not going to kill you upon entry, but they're going to make you conform to their customs while you're there. I've had friends. You're a world travel. I've had other friends that are world travelers. That even when they've gone to Israel, they've had to change the way they dress, or when
Yep.
they've gone into other Middle Eastern countries just to
Yep.
visit historical or biblical sites. They've even had to put on the headdress, the hijab, and the robes, and only go with somebody from that country as a tour guide, and
Yep.
they had to remain silent. And they're like, well, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to take the chance because I want to see this historical or biblical site in Jordan or in, like all Egypt. Or, and I don't think people understand that that's what you have to do to navigate Islam.
100% they don't understand that. So I flew into Sana'a, Yemen. Okay. I'm wearing chinos and a sport coat,
Yes.
no tie. You know what I mean? Open shirt. You know, I meet my guy that's supposed to get me to the hotel. Right? I, you know, we uh, we take a taxi for probably, I don't know, 8, 10 minutes,
Okay.
but they don't take us right to the hotel. They just stop somewhere, and I'm like, "Well, let's sit in the hotel. Are we going to a hotel?" And my local guy is like, "No, no, let's get out here. We'll walk the rest of the way." I'm like, "Okay," but I'm on high alert now
Mm-hmm.
because this seems weird, right? And so we go to the Sheraton. We finally get checked in and stuff. And I come back down outside and I'm like, hey, I saw this place, a couple of blocks back. And I didn't say it out loud, Sean, but they were eyeballing me like, uh, you know. And so I wanted to touch base with them in case they were, you know, you know what I mean? In
Yeah.
case they were, under pressure from the local government or whatever.
Right.
Huh?
Right. So, like, when you've gone into places like this, obviously diplomatic, um, but you're able to observe the
Yeah.
culture, what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have some tasty food that you have to eat with your hand, but they're also posturing as hostile, is what
Yeah.
I'm getting from what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
They're eyeballing you. They're mean mugging you because they're
right.
hostile.
Yeah. So, you know, I start walking back and then I have It's so funny, dude. I had 2 or 3 gentlemen come up and go, "Hey, dinner's ready." And I'm like, "I'm I'm sorry, what?"
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Yeah, dinner's ready. Come with us. We're gonna have dinner." I Okay. So we I am totally not in control of my shit, you know? I'm totally not in control. And so we go to this restaurant and it was so bizarre, Sean. They take this wax paper and they spread it out over this long, long, long table, maybe 7, 8 feet long. And they have these, you, you know, the pizza shovel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but with a 3 foot long, and then you just dump this heaps of food on this wax paper, you know, and I'm like, this is pretty weird.
It is weird. It
And
is. It is
and the locals
normal,
start going, no, 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 no.
right?
And I'm like, okay.
Can't right? I'm American. Can you give me a food shovel?
Right. Yeah.
And I know, use your
Yeah,
hands.
that's what they did, Sean. You just use your hands, and I gotta tell you, it was some of the best food I ever
Oh,
ate.
sure.
Oh, it was
They
awesome,
they
you
can
know?
cook. They can
Yeah.
cook, but it's very interesting that they don't use, Americans will call them forks or spoons, but food shovels. And that brings me to, uh, this socialist. Oh, sorry, no, not socialist, communist, Ma'am Danny, who, likely will be elected mayor of New York. I'd love to get your thoughts on the
Dude, there's no way he's gonna
hand
make it.
food eating
You
man
think he is?
Danny. I think he's communist.
No,
S
100%.
I also
But
think
you
he's
think
Muslim, and he's lying to people when he says he does not want to bring on the caliphate or the jihad.
he's
I
lying.
think he's lying.
He's lying his ass off.
Yes.
So there's 1.3 million Jews in New York City. Is that
Yes.
enough to throw this guy off his game?
I listen, the problem with New York Jews, and let's just call it for what it is, they vote Democrat, so this would be their guy. And the reason there, I've heard many explanations. The best explanation I've ever heard about New York Jews, the reason they vote Democrat is because they've always wanted to be ignored ever since, right, World War II, and everybody was trying to eliminate them from Earth. So they thought it was better to be Democratic and say nothing, Democrat Party and say nothing, and that way they were ignored, and that way other people could fight and ignore the New York Jews. And this is I've heard a lot of explanations. This is the best explanation I've ever heard, is that they don't want to be noticed. I listen, could they change the election? 1.3 million of them in New York? Yes. I don't know if they will because they've got it in their brains since the 1950s that we don't ever want to be part of a Holocaust again. So it's best to be left alone by voting for the Democrat Party, Paul. And like the research on that talking point is solid. I know to you and me, that's weird.
That is weird. Yeah. I gotta say, Sean, I got, I got no answer for you, bro.
Well, but if they don't come out, look, they don't have a Republican to vote for. So Sliwa, the red hat guy that's always protesting, the Republican, he's not going to win. It's New York. Don't be retarded. The only chance they have is Mayor Adams, which is, I mean, not great. If he just
Well, yeah,
decides to
it's
run as an
the devil
independent.
and what you, yeah.
Well, if he switches parties to independent, because he clearly lost the primary to a communist Muslim. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know. Listen, to all the people who are going to ask me at some point in time, well, Trump said he'd lock him up. Listen, again, stop listening to what Trump says. Trump just says shit. Watch what he does. This is he's only like there's no way in hell. He didn't lock up Hillary, Trump. He didn't lock up Hillary. Just stop. All right, listen. You're being retarded. Don't listen to what Trump says. Watch what he does. What he does is impressive. He's shut down the war in Africa.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he stopped the war in the
Oh,
Middle
yeah.
East. He stopped like the economy, like the stock market. I don't look at the stock market as the economy, but a lot of people do. Stock market's at the highest point it's ever been in history.
Yeah.
Stop just listening to him troll. He's a troll. Trump's a troll. He's the best troll that has ever been on the planet. So stop. Just stop. You're being
Yeah.
ridiculous. So
Just
when he
like
says I could
with,
lock up Ma'am Dammy, well, he also said he was going to lock up Hillary. Is Hillary locked up? Nope.
yeah, no. But just like with Africa, you know, he really took a leading um
Oh, which are you
well,
talking about the conflict in Congo?
yeah,
Yeah. And he's just like, all right, we need to knock this shit off.
yeah, yeah,
And he's like, listen, if you guys trade, here's the whole point. Whether it's Congo or anywhere else in the world, this would be India, this would be Pakistan, this would be all across the
right,
planet.
yeah,
Trump's idea, which is the correct idea, is if we all just trade with each other, everyone gets rich. If we stop trading with each other and we start throwing stuff with each other or throwing stuff at each other, we all get poor. Why not? We don't have to be friends. We could be trade partners and we could all get rich. That's Trump's proposal to the
yeah,
world.
yeah,
And so when everyone comes, no, we need to blow these people. No. We're way past the Bush dynasty. We're
right.
not blowing
Oh,
people up
way
anymore.
past that. Yeah,
We're not blowing people up anymore. And you can go, hey, well, they're not our friends. Or maybe they're a Muslim nation. Saudi Arabia is a Muslim nation, Sean. Yeah, but they sure do love golf. They sure do love spending money. Holy
oh,
shit, they spend
yeah,
a ton of money in America.
yeah,
We're trade partners,
yeah.
right? And why would they want to break away from that trade? Because they're making money on it too. This is Trump's plan
Of
that
course they
nobody
are.
gets.
Yeah,
Everybody gets rich. Nobody's throwing rocks at each other. That's Trump's plan. And nobody gets it. I don't see Paul why nobody gets it.
I, yeah, you gotta be dumb. You gotta be tough.
Well, yes, that is absolutely true. Obviously, we're tough enough to handle it, so we can be dumb and we can make trade deals with countries that hate us.
So let me tell you something. I have just this week, and I'll say what I can say.
Yeah, sure, sure.
You know what I mean, Sean.
Yep.
So,
I gotta walk away for a second. I'll be able to hear you though.
okay. So I've done three, nope, I've done four countries where I have uh, presented solutions. And three of them have acquiesced, I guess.
Oh, they accepted the
I would
proposal?
say. Yeah, they
Okay,
accept.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that brings me to so a lot of people are saying, well, this whole alligator Alcatraz thing. We'll go back into that. It's just too expensive, and I was trying to explain to people that a camp in a box, or a detention center in a box, or a housing complex in a box is actually super simple, and readily available by our defense industry, by our contractors. Am I wrong there? I mean, it only took Florida 8 days. Yeah, but you've been telling me there was things we
Sean,
could have done during
Sean,
Hurricane Helene in
yeah.
4 days. Build a whole
Sean,
city.
they're $80,000 out of the box. And that includes housing, ablution, shitters, showers,
Mess
defrag,
hall,
everything.
mess hall.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've been trying to
It's
explain to
a full
people.
camp in a box.
Right, and so, if you put a fence around it, what are you adding? 10 grand?
Um, 15 to 17 grand. Yeah.
Okay, but any defense contract company that's worth its weight could do this in a week. So Camp Atterbury's
Oh,
been
no
offered
work.
a
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Camp Atterbury has a ton of land in Indiana, just south of Indianapolis, and they've offered this to the Trump administration, saying that Indiana can't pay for it, but we have a military reserve camp, which will have active reservists on it, and we have this 300 acres that's unused. Could Trump could just easily bid that out and set it up in 8 to 10 days, right?
Yeah.
For the Midwest,
Yeah.
and people are saying, "No, why are you spend?" And again, it's always I have no problem with Thomas Massey or Rand Paul or Rand's dad, Ron Paul, per se. My issue with them is they're screaming money, 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 and I go, okay, yeah, yeah. Is that they don't want to do these things? Like if we
No.
take
So,
these 30 million people
right.
out of our country, we're gonna
Right.
save billions of dollars.
Yes.
I
So, what
do you have anything
Rand
further?
Paul's complaining about is what we actually need to do. He's complaining about money that we need to get rid of illegal aliens.
That's where I look, and I get you could be a fan of Rand, you can be a fan of Thomas. I don't have a problem with either of them. I think what they're missing here is that it's cheaper to set up a camp in a box with a runway. Camp Atterbury in
Yeah.
Indiana has a runway, a full-size runway. You can run deportation flights out of there. That's cheaper than the opposed or the just opposed, for people who like that word. People who are just like, no, just send them straight to the border, send them over the border wall, let them figure it out. And
No,
again, I will tell you that
no,
doesn't work. That won't work, and it's
no,
more
that won't
expensive.
work. So you have 2 or 3 snipers.
No, no,
Which,
no. I get that point at the border. I'm talking about the people in the Midwest, the
oh
people
yeah,
in Florida,
no,
the
I got you.
people,
Yeah,
and how do we most efficiently send them out? And I think Ron DeSantis's Gator Trez. I think there's going to be one set up in Indiana. I think there's going to be others set up, and over the next 2 or 3 years, whatever it takes, they're gonna be used.
yeah.
They're not detention centers, they're not prisons,
No,
they are
they're not.
processing
Yeah.
centers. We're waiting until we have 300 of you that are going to El Salvador, and then we're gonna bring the plane in, and we're all gonna wave bye-bye as your plane leaves.
Oh yeah. And I think we'll probably use Cessna 210 and fly on top of the ark. So, I can't even say.
Dude, it was right there! You had
I
it!
know, I
All you
couldn't
had to
get
do
it
was
out.
finish the all you had to do was finish the thing. Oh, could there could please be like a Mustang Stingray riding below it with a Ninja motorcycle? Just
Yeah.
like in the video with the Cessna 210 flying above it. Shit, I need to get into making AI videos.
Hey, dude, I
That,
gotta
sir,
tell
would
you,
be fucking hilarious.
I flew a Cessna 210 in South Sudan, and
What's the largest plane you've ever flown?
huh?
Like, you as a captain, what's the largest plane you've ever flown?
The Cessna 210.
210? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So I've done the J2 Cub. I've done a Cessna 152. I've done a 182 with retractable, and then the most complex was that one. Yeah,
The 210? Oh, of course. Sure.
yeah.
Impressive.
Oh, and it was great, dude. It was so. What a great airplane!
And
It was
that's
really
what I was
so
gonna ask.
awesome.
What was stick time like? Was it smooth?
So smooth.
Wow.
You had. I'm telling you, Sean. You had no issues. I gotta say, I think not every time, but sometimes I was overloaded, and it didn't matter. This little motherfucker just
Just
it,
it had all kinds of
yeah,
lift.
We,
Didn't
you
matter.
know, we're at, yeah, it was just great.
So
Really, really great. I
the
love that plane.
remind me, the 210 is still not a pressurized cabin, right?
Oh no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. So you're still at
So a
10,000.
210,
You're still at flight level 10
yeah.
tops.
So a 210 is a 182 with a big ball sack on it. you know, and it had a rear entry uh to
Yeah,
take on stuff.
cargo.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like so, the bush people in Alaska would use those for heavy transport,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because they have a massive amount of lift. They can take
Right.
heavy
Oh
cargo
yeah.
as opposed to the
That fucking
172s.
dude, I gotta tell you, that fucking um Pilates engine
Mm,
was just holy shit. If you were empty of cargo and you took off, you're, I'm like giddy. I'm like, holy shit. This is like a C-130 with the jet thing. You know what I mean?
The rockets, yeah.
Yeah, with the rockets on it. You're like, holy shit, this motherfucker's badass, dude.
What do you think those things are pulling? Like 300 horse?
At least, yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah, at least, dude.
Damn, because a Cessna 172 or a 150
Oh,
is
you're
probably
not
be
gonna,
like
yeah,
110
150 is
horse.
like 80 horse,
All right.
you know, you know?
110 tops if you take the headers off it. Which people do. Oh, baby. Dude, I gotta look at whatever the fuck they put into those Red Bull stunt planes. Holy crap, that's a ton of horsepower. Holy crap, that's gotta be 400 horsepower.
No,
Single engine.
500, I would
Oh,
say.
what?
Yeah, 500 horse, no problem. With the
Wow.
fucking Red Bull things and
Yeah.
those Lycoming, the fucking Lycoming engines. Jesus Christ, dude. You could, mm,
Dude, it's IndyCar on wings. Really. The Red Bull
mhm.
planes. Incredible. I do love the design too. They still held to that like P-51 Mustang style
I love
design.
that. Yeah.
Dude, my favorite plane's the 20 F-22. My second favorite plane is the Tank Buster, the P-51. I listen, I just love the P-51.
Yeah.
What an incredible aircraft, and the
Yeah.
ability to it could be a bomber, it could be a dogfighter,
Yeah.
and it could evade, enemy, fire because of its agility, and all of that came out of the design. A lot of it was horsepower, but not all of it. A lot of it came out of the massive amount of lift it had, so it could do all these maneuvers.
So, yeah, you're exactly right. And what made that such a strong aircraft was its ability to do acrobatics in a dogfight. So their uh, STCs, on their wings and that kind of thing, they were so sturdy that they could do so much fucking
Well,
aerobatics. Yeah,
yes, and if you can't, so we've got other planes that can do it, but the P-51 was the first one I remember. Like, if you can come to a standstill and just point your nose up and have enough horsepower to hold yourself there at
yeah,
standstill, and everyone goes right by you, the enemy.
Yeah.
Like, nobody had that technology. America did with the P-51. They couldn't. They're like, I don't know how do I catch these guys? And then I just roll back and start flying the other way, and I'm already 3 miles away from you, and all you're
Yeah.
shooting at me is a machine gun cannon. This was before, rockets, right? That there was it was very few P-51s that ever got shot down because of the performance of the aircraft.
Sure.
Incredible aircraft.
Yeah.
The obviously the Raptor, the F-22 has even better capability, but similar. They could just stand themselves up at 30,000 feet and hang. I know you're looking. No, no, they can just point it up and hang for a minute while
No, I
they
got you. Yeah.
slowly roll over and go the other direction
Yeah.
from whatever the hell was chasing them. No, well, they still have to dogfight? Yeah, but we don't really dogfight anymore. This isn't World War II. What would they be rolling away from? They could be rolling away from a surface-to-air missile, right? And as soon as their systems say, "Oh, it's passed," they resume mission. Totally different.
Right.
F-35s, I hate those motherfuckers, but they're still capable. They're capable for some things.
Bro.
I
I,
fucking hate them, Paul. You know that, you've known me for 3, 4 years. I fucking hate the F-35 platform. It's awful. Holy shit, it's awful. I'd rather have a like, if I had to fly that mission, I'd rather fly a P-51.
fuck. I don't even know how to respond to that, dude.
Can we just cancel the contract on the P-51s? Wait on the, whatever the F-47's gonna be? I don't know what that platform is, and
I don't
use
even wanna know. You know what I mean?
I
I don't
don't.
even wanna know what
I
that thing
don't
is.
think the world should
I
know.
want
I
let
think
me
the
tell you
world should just
something.
know we
I
have F-47s. They shouldn't know
dude,
anything else about it, including Americans. They shouldn't know the technology that we have. And you and I have talked about this. I think over the last 6 months, we have shown way too much of our capability in the last 6 months through warfare. Am I wrong?
you're not wrong. I just want a F-18
Dude,
that I could go out in my driveway and grab and go fly.
I
And
think
then
I think you're right. The Hornet's a great platform. I think if I'm just going for speed, like I just want a hot rod, I think F-16.
okay.
Yeah, just a hot rod to fly around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I might get hit by some, Israeli, missiles if they're firing at me, but hopefully they don't know I'm up in the air over New Mexico.
Yeah. No, I got you.
I'm just going out to rip it up through,
Yeah.
the Sahara Desert or something.
But the
Ah.
F-18,
Yeah, what about it?
well, it has the ability to load more ordnance.
Got more left.
And so, yeah, it's a F-16 on steroids.
I think that's fair. And I think that's I'm glad we're still using them. I said if I was to get to buy one, I think I would want a 16 because they can rip through Death Valley
Oh, yeah. No, I got you. Yeah.
way better than well, probably not the 22, but like it'd be an incredible trip. I'd love to have one. I know they disarm them when they sell them to the public, and they are totally. There are some that are totally available. Oshkosh, I believe, is this month. The flight show in Oshkosh. And I believe you're gonna see MiG 29s, 33s, F-16s. You're gonna see some
Oh, come on.
14s. And then you're gonna see the standard stuff, the Beach Bonanzas, the
Yeah.
Cessnas. Oshkosh is it's a great air show if you can make it up there to Wisconsin. I have gone 3 times. I probably should
Are you
do
going this
another
time?
one. I'm not going this month, no. I should. I'm definitely gonna go back again. It's a it's the greatest air show I've ever been to. Other air shows I've been to are just not as big. They don't bring in all the big military aircraft, right? So you're not
Yeah.
gonna see a B-2
Oh,
flyover. You're
yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
see
yeah,
a
yeah.
You will totally see a B-2 flyover at Oshkosh. Will they
Oh,
land?
I got you. Yeah.
No. Nope. Nope. You're not gonna get that close to a B-2.
Mm.
Alright, my man. So, Friday is, Independence Day, the birthday, 249th birthday of America. We're taking the day off, right? We're taking the podcast off. We're taking, everything will be good. After that, I don't know. I guess we'll be back Monday. Who knows what the hell we'll
Monday,
talk
we
about?
should be back,
Who knows
and
what the hell we're gonna talk
and
about? Yuck!
I have to say, by Sunday afternoon, I should quit drinking.
Oh, you talking about Independence Weekend? You're gonna start to dry out? No, now listen, I'm just gonna make this clear for everybody. Celebrate or independence, however you celebrate it. I'm not judging. Paul's not judging. We will dry out. We will dry out. All of you that are watching. We will dry out so that we can bring you whatever the hell we want to talk about on Monday on the podcast. And Paul, you're correct. I think people should have the best time. 249 years? I
Yeah.
know it doesn't seem that long,
Don't you think?
but it's pretty impressive, and we should totally celebrate it. I will be, like I said, at my brother's house, dog sitting. His dogs aren't worried about fireworks. He's worried about his dogs worried about fireworks.
Wait
I
a
don't
minute.
care.
Are are are
Friday, the
is your
4th.
brother in the Carolinas?
Yeah, he's about 4 miles away from me. But by traffic, that means about 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, I'll be over there. I'm gonna take my laptop in case one of you crazy assholes wants to do a podcast, but
Dude,
we don't have to plan on it.
dude, you don't know. We
Alright, I'm
might
gonna take
wanna
it.
do something.
I'm gonna take it. If we want to open up on Friday, we can do it. So I'm dog sitting Friday and Saturday. You might see us, you might not. We have no idea. What I can promise you is that me and Paul will bring you Orange Podcast Bad on next Monday. Let's close it out with the theme song.
Alright, brother.